Okay, so we're back here for part 3. Now where we left off, I'm going to write this down again. We said that 1 radian is equal to 180 degrees over pi, or 1 degree is equal to pi divided by 180. Okay, and again, think about a circle. We know that that's 360 degrees around, but that's also the same thing as 2 pi radians. 1 full revolution, we can think of it in degree measure, we can think of it in radian measure. One of the things, 180 degrees, which is halfway around the circle, is equal to 1 pi. Okay, so that's where we're coming up with this. Why am I getting 180 and pi related to each other? Well, if I go around 180 degrees, that is equal to pi radians. Okay, so here's 180 degrees, which is the same as pi. If I went 90 degrees, it would be half of pi. It would be 90 degrees is the same thing as pi over 2 radians. This here is 0. If I go to 270 degrees, that would be 1.5 pi, or what we'll say is 3 pi over 2 radians. And then 1 full time around, 0 degrees or 360 degrees is equal to 2 pi. Okay, so going around, we can convert. Sometimes we want degree measure, sometimes we want radian measure for that. Convert each degree measure to radians. So if I give you 120 degrees, the easiest way to do this is to take that degree measure and I'm going to multiply by pi over 180. I'm going to take this idea that 1 degree is pi over 180, and to convert this from degrees to radians, I will multiply by pi over 180 degrees. And the reason we'll do that, now we can simplify. This becomes 2 over 3. The degree measure cancels out. You can almost think of that like a variable. And what we're left with is 2 pi over 3. That is the radian measure. 225 degrees, well, I'm going to multiply that by pi over 180 degrees. We'll do a little algebra. Now, something about this, when you always simplify the fractions, you're going to see a lot of the same values come up again and again. If I divide these by 45, I would get 5 over 4. The degree symbols cancel. 5 pi over 4. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and try to do part C and part D. All right, how do I convert from degrees to radians? I'm going to multiply by pi over 180. Now in this case, this divides into 3 over 1. It reduces to 3 over 1, which is 3 pi. So think about 3 pi. If 1 pi gets me to here and 2 pi gets me back to here, 3 pi goes all the way, it goes halfway around again. And that should make sense that 540 is bigger than 360. So I should expect to have a number more than 2 pi because 360 degrees is the 2 pi. So 540 is more than that. All right, and then part D, negative 315 times pi over 180. Again, 45 goes into both of these. That would be negative 7 over 4. And what we get is negative 7 pi over 4. And this is radians. So this radian measure is equal to this degree measure. 3 pi is equal to 540 degrees. All right, and the last one we'll do here, number 7, let's convert the other way. Convert each angle measure in radians back to degrees. If we know the radian measure, and we know that each radian is 180 degrees divided by pi, 4 pi over 3. Now the idea is to eliminate the pi. Well, I can do that if I have pi in my denominator of the fraction. So times 180 over pi. The pi's will reduce. I can also say 180 divided by 3 is 60. And what we get is 4 times 60, 240 degrees. negative pi over 2 radians times 180 over pi. The pi's will cancel. That's 90 over 1. So what we get is negative 90 degrees. And one thing you'll be able to do with the circle here after a while is you'll be good at figuring out making the conversion just based on this, especially if it's like 90s, multiples of 90. Negative pi over 2 is this right here. Well, that's negative 90 degrees that I just traveled. Go ahead and try C and D. Okay, if you've already done it, let's check. 5 pi over 6 times 180 over pi. The pi's reduce. That's 30. And then 5 times 30 is 150 degrees. And then the last one is 9 pi over 4 times 180 over pi. Those reduce. 180 divided by 4 is 45. And then 9 times 45 is 405 degrees. And that is the end of the notes.